the company is doing very well in the rest of the components of the strategic plan. We are advancing very much to be a leader in the development of the hydrogen market and economy in Spain and in Europe. Our large European hydrogen infrastructure projects are moving forward, I think, very, very successfully. We are showing a lot of success in our efficiency plan. I think we are showing that Enagas is very well protected against inflation and the rise of interest rates. And we are already making a reality the projects for improving the security of supply for gas in Spain and Europe. For instance, we have just put in operation the 7th regasification LNG plant in Europe, El Musel. So we think that the company is showing that the strategic plan is going forward even better than expected, and that shows the reality of a growth prospect for the company in years to come.
In the gas supplies that you're talking about extending out to Europe, how much capex has been earmarked for the same, and how are you funding it?
You know that our main hydrogen infrastructure projects have an estimated capex of 2.5 billion euros in what we call the H2 Med, one of the main hydrogen European corridors that have been initiated in Europe lately. And you know that we are working to have those projects included in the European projects of common interest list. That's a prerequisite to be able to apply for European funding, and we hope and we are convinced that our projects will be eligible for the European Connecting Europe facility. So this is a very ambitious investment capex plan, 2.5 just for the international interconnections, but we are seeing very good prospects to be eligible for having very significant European funding for those interconnections.
Right, and just on that subject, speaking about hydrogen, the focus on hydrogen infrastructure, you're saying that Spain will be eligible to receive EU funding, but may not be more than 30–50% of capex. Where would be that magic number in terms of the subsidies that the European Union could extend out to you for your hydrogen ambitions?
You are absolutely right, Tanvir. It's true that these interconnections can apply for between 30 and 50% of the capex, but we need to finance the rest as well. We think that we will have two main funding sources. The first is the so-called, in Europe, the cross-border cost allocation process. That means that those countries that are going to benefit from the infrastructure will have to put part of the cost as well. And in this case, we are especially watching towards Germany, because Germany is going to be the main green hydrogen import market in Europe to supply the German industry with renewable, competitive hydrogen. So we trust that Germany will finance part of the infrastructure, and as a matter of fact, the German government has already announced their interest in being part of the process. And the third funding source will be an open season mechanism for end customers and consumers to commit firm capacity in a mechanism very similar to what we have done with the Trans-Adriatic pipeline, of which Enagas is a shareholder with 20%. So we know very well how to launch and how to carry out these European-wide open season schemes, and one of those will be also put in place to help financing this very large European infrastructure.